In the previous class we were seeing how the processes communicate with each other. We said that the process will be communicating in the form of either client or the servers. So one is the client, which will be sending the request to the server, and the server will be providing the response based on the request given by the client. The next is how the process will communicate with each other, how it will identify, how the process, the source process will identify the destination process. So it is with the help of the interface. It is nothing but socket, the interface between the process and the computer network. There will be some connection between the network and the process. So it is like a door between the network and the, see, from the outside world, how we enter into our home with the help of our door. So this socket is nothing but like a door which will help us to get into the process. So from the network, this socket will allow the messages to enter into our process. So this door is nothing but socket. The interface is nothing but socket. So a socket is a process sends message into and receive message from the network through a software interface called a socket. As I said, software interface is nothing but the socket which helps us to send the message from the network to the process or vice versa. Next, this is the diagrammatic representation how the processes communicate with each other. See, if you see, this is the server process, this is the client process, host or server. It can be client or the server. This also can be client or server. So these are the two hosts which can act as either client or the server, and every host will be having the process. See, this is the process. So how this process will interact with the network or with the outside world is with the help of the socket, that is software interface. So in all the host whichever is running process, there will be a socket which will help, which acts as an interface between the network and the process. Processes communicating, and this is how it will identify. See, as we said already, one system will be, one host will be running 2 or 3 processes simultaneously. So if I am sending data to or sending a message to my friend, in my friend's host there may be a number of processes running simultaneously. So if I am sending mail, for example, he is running in his host, in his system he is running 2-3 processes, such as one is mail process and another is FTP process, another is internet telephony. So these 3 different processes are running in his system. So how my mail will directly get into the mail process? So we have to provide some identification, like this process should go directly to this process. See, if I am sending mail, so from my SMTP process, mail, it has to get into a mail of his system. It cannot go to internet telephony, or it cannot go to file transfer services. So how it is going to identify, how my mail process will identify the mail process in the destination also? That is what we are going to see through the addressing process. Okay, so in a home there may be 2-3 person. So how will I identify the person, and how I will send the message to that particular person in the home? That is what my concern is. So how will I identify? Either through his name, or if at all he is having any number like USN we have in the college, we can identify with him by his number. So how I am going to identify the process running in the system is either through the port number. The first one is, with the help of the port number only we can identify a particular process. And how can we identify the destination? That is home. Okay, with the help of the IP address. So 2 things we need to identify the process. We need port number, like to identify a person in a particular home, we need his name or some number, USN number or Aadhaar number, anything. Okay, to identify that home we need that home's address. So this is how we are going to reach the destination and its own process. Okay, that particular process. So with the help of the port number we can reach the process. With the help of the IP address we can reach the destination. So we need 2 addresses. One is port address or port number. The other one is IP address. So transport services available to the application. Yes. So as I said, the other layers also will help our application layer to do its services or do its functionalities. So what are the services provided by the transport? Is nothing but reliable data transfer, then data integrity, then timing, throughput. These are the services available to the applications, transport services available to the applications. See, if at all, see if I'm doing some file transfer or if I'm sending some mail, do it needs data integrity? We have to concentrate on data integrity or we have to go with the timing? So we have to concentrate on the data integrity in case of sending the file data in the text. Okay, so in that case data integrity is the priority is very high. And the timing also matters. It depends on the applications. See, if mail reaches the destination 2 or 3 microseconds later, it is not going to affect that much. But if you are writing the exam, okay, so within 3 hours you have to submit that exam sheet. In that case, if the delay is high, then it is not tolerant. That is intolerant applications in which timing constraint will be very high, and the throughput also is required. So the elasticity of the application, it depends on the elasticity, how far it can tolerate. It depends on the applications. If I'm going to use exam, I'm going to write the exam, then I have some timing constraint. If I'm sending the mail, I have some data integrity constraint. If I'm similarly throughput is required in this audio, video and all. See, if I'm recording some audio or if I'm taking online class, what happens? Some loss can occur. Loss will be occurring and loss can also occur, because if one or two words is getting missed when I'm taking video classes, that is not going to affect. So we can tolerate this. So these are the applications which can tolerate. Okay, these are all called loss tolerant applications. Most notably multimedia applications such as video, audio conference, audio meeting. These and all are called as loss tolerant applications. But mail, file transfer and all cannot tolerate the loss. If one or two data is missed, we cannot tolerate it. We don't know which data is so crucial, which is not crucial. Okay, so the audio video applications will be loss tolerant, and the text data transfer will be loss intolerant. It cannot tolerate the loss. And this and all we have seen. Security is also most important, and that also depends on the applications which we are going to use. So if it is military application, then security is most important. If you are going to with a normal online class or video conferencing, then security is not much of concern. And the web documents also, if you are going to search some thing in the internet, then we are not so much aware of the security. Next comes transport services, the same by the internet. In the last session we were saying about transport services provided by the applications. This is transport services provided by the internet. So how it is going to provide is internet layer, TCP services and the UDP services. In this we have to see. So what is TCP services? The TCP service model includes a connection oriented. If I say TCP, only one thing should come in your mind. That is nothing but connection oriented service. What is connection oriented service? If you are going to establish, if you are going to use the TCP protocol, then it needs a handshaking process. Before transferring the data, I have to do the handshaking process. What is handshaking? First I have to send SYN signal. If I have to send the data to my friend, I am host A and I want to send the data to the host B. First I have to send the signal called SYN signal. Then he will, if he is ready to communicate with me, then he will again respond me with a SYN acknowledgement. Then in order to acknowledge that I have got this in acknowledge, again I will be sending acknowledgement. So these are the three signals which is used in the handshaking process. Once the handshaking process is successful, then I will start sending the data. Once the data transfer is over from one side to the other side, then the acknowledgement will be sent by the receiver. So the sender will be confirming that he will get assurance that he